Are those swords stabbing me? What's this thing in my hand? Or is it my head? Is this me? Then it hits him. Yes, it is him. But he's no longer human. He's just a suit of armor. And this right here is the beginning of Zhang Bao's insane journey. The leader of the Tongxian sect, reduced to nothing but armor without a body. But how did he end up like this? Let's roll it back. The Tongxian sect was under attack by a powerful four-eyed demon. Zhang, being the leader, wasn't about to sit back and watch his people die. So, he did what any true leader would do. He gathered his ki and charged head first into battle. But this demon, he wasn't playing fair. He cast some strange dark magic that resulted in Zhang's soul to be ripped from his body and trapped inside a suit of armor, and not even in his own world. Now stuck in this new world with no body and no ki. Zhen's one thought is revenge. He tries to use a transportation skill to get back. But it fails because he's just armor now. His chi, all of it was left behind in his body. Without it, secret techniques are useless. And in front of him, a battlefield. Soldiers are locked in a brutal fight against what looks like an army of cursed armors. They're clearly struggling, but then hope appears. Princess, while their commander, steps up and rallies the troops by reminding them of the third rule of knighthood. She talks about how these cursed armors have slaughtered everything in their path, and the only way to end it all is to find and use Excalibur, the legendary sword. The soldier spirits are reignited. They scream their war cries and charge into the cursed army. While all this is happening, Zhang is still stuck thinking, how does he get his chi back? That's when he notices something while sword. It's glowing with chi, a magic weapon. Magical items naturally absorb chi from the world. If Zhang could just get one of those. After the soldiers win the battle, Zhang doesn't waste a second. He bolts in, grabs Wild's hand, and just straight up asks her to lend him the sword. Of course, her personal guard, Carl, isn't having it. He shoves Zhang back, and since Zhang is just armor, his head literally rolls off. That's when everyone panics. Makes sense, though. How else would you react to a moving, talking suit of armor? The soldiers surround him, assuming he's one of the cursed. But what really freaks them out is that this cursed armor is talking. Carl goes for the kill. Zhang dodges. Then Wild jumps in and manages to land a clean hit that confirms it. Her sword is 100% a magical weapon. But things go from bad to worse. More cursed armors start showing up, while Carl jump into action, cutting down enemies. But while starts running out of stamina, she's surrounded. She's too tired to fight back. One cursed armor smacks the sword out of her hand, and it lands right in front of Zhang. The moment he picks it up, something changes. His chi starts flowing again. Not a lot, but just enough. Zhang dashes in, slicing through the enemies surrounding while he's using them like training dummies, getting back into form. More cursed armor show up, but he's on another level. It looks like he's dancing through the battlefield. What no one realizes is that he's watching the flow of ki inside each cursed armor and hitting their exact weak points. When the dust settles while answers, what does this talking armor really want? Zhang tells her straight. He has no ill intent, but since he saved her, he's keeping the sword. He gathers his ki, tries that Song Zen sect's secret technique, Avenue of Reincarnation, hoping to travel back to his world. But then the sword shatters. It couldn't handle the technique. Not enough chi. Waldo is both curious and cautious. She's never seen a cursed armor with a name or one that talks. Zhang makes it clear he's not their enemy, but he's not exactly their friend either. That's when makes him an offer. Want to form an alliance? Zhang agrees. As long as they can provide him with more magical weapons, he'll stick around. While explains their mission. They're heading toward a castle. Legend says Excalibur lies within, and it's the only weapon that can truly end this cursed armor nightmare. If Zhang helps escort them there, she'll give him whatever he wants. Carl isn't thrilled about this deal. He doesn't trust Jang, but Weil shuts him down with solid logic. Jang saved them, and they can't exactly stop him either. Just then, more cursed armors show up near the castle. Jang doesn't wait. He rushes in, tearing through them like paper. Finally, they reach the castle. Jang asks about the origin of Excalibur, while explains it's a sacred treasure that was blessed before thousands of believers on the holy day. Only those who are chosen can wield it. As they step inside, they see bodies, well, suits of armor now. People who tried to claim the sword but failed. And right there, standing tall in the middle of it all, is Excalibur. Just by sensing the chi coming off it, Jang already knows this thing isn't ordinary. Its level is way beyond anything they've seen so far. Neil makes it clear only a true king can pull that sword out. Since ancient times, countless people have tried. All of them failed. And the bones lying all around Excalibur. Yep, those are the remains of the ones who couldn't survive the attempt. Still, Weil feels the pressure, she knows they need that sword, so she steps up and reaches for it. The moment her fingers touch the hilt, her life force starts draining fast. The sword is literally sucking the energy out of her. She starts doubting herself. Maybe I'm not worthy after all. But before she can get fully consumed, Jang steps in and shoves her away from the sword. Everyone's stunned. Well, especially because Jang not only touched Excalibur, he actually suppressed it. The issue isn't that Weil or the other so-called kings weren't worthy. It's that no one in this world understands chi. Excalibur absorbs chi from anyone who touches it. And if you can't control that flow, the sword will suck you dry and leave you as bones. But Jang no ordinary guy. He's the strongest practitioner ever. So when he grabbed that sword, instead of being drained, he dominated it. Jang warns everyone that a new cursed armor horde is on the way. So while he keeps controlling Excalibur, the rest of the group runs out to hold the line. But leading the enemy charge is something massive. The grizzly bear's cursed armor. A towering beast of metal and rage. The thing lunges straight at the princess, claws out. Jang sees it coming and swoops in and saves her using Excalibur. And then something insane happens. Jang feels it. Excalibur is pulling in every drop of chi from the world around him. Not just the natural chi in the air, but even the chi flowing inside the cursed armors. Even the grizzly bear's cursed armor. Itsuki starts draining into Jang through the sword. He focuses, suppresses the chaotic flow, and transforms it, using that massive energy to rebuild his own body from the inside. With one clean swing, he literally slams the monster into the ground. Now, here's the thing about chi. If you can rearrange and reconstruct its flow, you can create entirely new techniques. To prove it, Jang activates that Song Zenseek's secret move, Fire Infusion. He channels all the gathered chi into the blade and releases a devastating slash, engulfing the giant cursed armor in flames and annihilating it on the spot. Weil watches in complete disbelief. She just witnessed an outsider, someone not even from their world, master Excalibur like it was tailor-made for him. This sword that no one could even touch, Jang's now wielding it like it's part of his soul. Now that his body's absorbed enough chi, Jang thinks, alright, this has got to be enough now, and tries the transportation secret technique to get back to his world, but again, nothing. Still stuck. Man really doesn't waste a second. Every time he gets a power-up, he instantly tries to go home like someone checking if the Wi-Fi came back. But Jang figures it wasn't enough chi. So he heads outside, eyes locked on the cursed armor army. He's going to absorb more. He has to. While watching all this unfold, is left wondering, this guy, who even is he? He drew Excalibur. He mastered its power. Could he be the king we've been waiting for all along? Weil was cautious. She knew there was no way she and her army could take on this many cursed armors. But not Jang. Our guy dashed in like he didn't even notice the danger. Every time he brought down one of those cursed armors, he absorbed their chi, getting stronger with every swing. Then suddenly notification popped up from Excalibur, asking Jang to approve. Apparently, he'd obtained a new knight. While Wild and her army were getting overwhelmed, things went from bad to worse. More grizzly bear cursed armors showed up, and the battlefield looked hopeless. But Excalibur was still flashing that same request to Jang. Finally, he approved. The second he did, all the cursed armors that had died by Excalibur's blades suddenly stood back up. But they weren't enemies anymore. Now they were fighting for Jang, protecting the princess and tearing through the enemy ranks. Jang was literally commanding his own cursed armor army, using the sword like a general with his troops. Turns out that's one of Excalibur's hidden techniques. Jang can control any corpse taken down by its blade. While watching this unfold, was stunned, and then she remembered something from long ago. When she was younger, a mysterious man once told her about the legendary King of Knights. According to the tale, the King of Knights was a hero who would shine with brilliant light on the battlefield, wielding Excalibur to split the heavens. Back then, it filled her with hope. But the man also told her that a real king needs more than strength. They need other hidden qualities, too. She snapped back to the present when Carl called out to her, pointing out that Jang and his risen army were absolutely crushing the cursed monsters. What surprised while even more was her own soldiers. Just moments ago, they were drained, barely standing. But now, they were charging back into the fight with renewed energy. The fear and exhaustion in their eyes were gone, replaced with hope, thanks to Jang. And at the center of it all was him, lifting Excalibur high, gathering even Mariki. With his power returning, Jang was feeling like himself again. He summoned lightning from the sky and fried wave after wave of cursed armors with explosive force. While saw it all, and she knew the one in front of her was no ordinary warrior. He was the one from the legend, the King of Knights. Soldiers began chanting his name, rallying around the man who had given them strength and courage. And then like clockwork, Jang tried the transportation technique again, and yep, it failed. At this point, you've got to laugh. Every time he gets a power-up, he's like, alright, let's try again. And then still stuck. But this time, Excalibur spoke directly to him. Sword bearer. Suddenly, Jang's consciousness was yanked into another realm. And just like that, he was back to his original human form. The place around him was grand, like a divine hall, Camelot Hall, the inner realm of Excalibur. Then she appeared. A beautiful woman stepped toward him, calling him sword bearer and introducing herself as the spirit of Excalibur. Her name Vivian, she told him, since he can wield the sword that makes him her master. Jang was caught off guard. He's met plenty of magical weapons with consciousness before, but they usually take weird forms. A floating eye, a shadow, a voice. This was the first time the consciousness appeared as a person, and a very human one. Even more shocking, this space, a fully independent realm inside the sword, is made entirely from chi and mental energy, which is also why Jang looks like his old self in here. Then she summoned a single candle, asking him to take a good look at the flame. Said this flame represented all Thiki he currently possessed, and that's when it finally made sense. In order to activate the transportation technique, he doesn't just need a little chi. He needs enough to light the entire Camelot Hall. That's why it never worked. Jang looked a bit down hearing that, so Vivian tried to cheer him up by patting his head. Then came a twist. Vivian told him, those cursed armors don't stand a chance against the bearer of Excalibur. And as for that four-eyed loser, he'll be defeated by Jang, too.